Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Danger Zone podcast. This is episode 18. We've been gone for a little while. I had my little self-reflection spewing stuff last episode. It was a solo, me freaking out, and yes. Anyway, we're back. Me and Chris. This episode actually was recorded before I did all of that shit. So we do briefly in the middle talk about the whole Kavanaugh thing. So it was prior to my explosion and all of that shit. So that's there. You can skip it if you want. I think it's like 5 minutes on the subject, whatever. But yeah, we talked about all kinds of random shit today. What did we talk about? What did we talk about? We talked about traffic being a pain in the ass. Prepping for end of days. We talked about some movies. This is kind of a free flow, us just bullshitting about whatever. There's no real subject matter to this one, which is kind of what we've been doing. So we're going to get a little bit back on track. We have a number of topics that we're going to pin down for specific episodes to kind of focus on that, along with our inevitable tangents and ADD kicking in to sidebar us to who the fuck knows what. So those are coming out. If you guys have any suggestions, anything you want us to talk about, go ahead and let us know in the comments section. If you're enjoying what we're doing, please go ahead and like our page, subscribe to YouTube, and share this with those that you care about most so they can listen to us be mostly dumb with moments of insight that rarely occur. But that's okay. This is fun shit. Thank you for listening, and fuck it, let's get into this. Danger Zone podcast. This is motherfucking episode 18. Highway to the danger zone. I'm gonna take it right into the danger zone. Highway to the danger zone. So yeah, and that's the same thing. I remember hearing this news story about a chick that was at some rapper's concert, and he brought her up on stage, and she was obviously drunk.
Yes.
It was a concert.
Yeah,
Most
I
people
saw that
are
story.
under some influence. And she's rapping along to the lyrics and says the lyrics as they are, and she drops the N-bomb a few times, and everybody stops. Even the rapper, everyone stops and starts like booing her and shit like that and berating her. She was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize." You could tell she's shit-faced. It's this weird area of like, all right, she wasn't trying to be an asshole. She was just singing along to the song. Like, she got baited.
Yeah, that was total entrapment. I feel for her.
Yeah, that's fucked.
In that situation.
Fucking Michael.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
The Office covers all things.
It does, man.
Just perfectly.
Yep. It puts things in the proper perspective for me.
I think so too. I live my life according to everything Office related.
I pretty much do
the Office related.
The opposite of Michael Scott.
That's a good way to live, for sure.
Except for
that's safe.
That actually reminds me of a Dwight quote. It's something like, whenever I think of something and whether to do something or not, I think to myself, would a stupid person do this? And if the answer is yes, I don't do that thing. I don't do that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. The Office has taught us so many life lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I was watching it today, and I was like, the only two normal characters in this entire show are Jim and Pam. I'm pretty sure. Oscar.
They're kind of like the grounding point that keeps us in reality when we're watching that. Because all the other characters, I don't know. I would say there's a few others.
They're so absurd. They're all so absurd for the most part.
Let's see here. Who else is pretty... I would say Toby's pretty realistic. I've met a few Tobys.
Oh, yeah. No, Toby is. Toby for sure is.
Oh, what's Dude Man that fucking always is doing the crossword puzzles? Stanley's pretty realistic.
Yeah.
But
even what's her name is the one that sits across from him.
Not Angela. The older one, the larger lady.
Yeah. Why the fuck? Why can't
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's I'm having a total brain fart too.
Whatever. Whatever, because this is my United States of... Do you remember
Nope.
that shit?
I have no
Oh,
idea what you're
man.
talking
What's
about.
that from? I feel like that was the era of, like, Tom Green. It wasn't him, but it
The
was,
late
like,
90s.
in that MTV. Yeah, man. Fucking kids don't understand
No.
MTV. MTV was a huge
Yep.
thing, man.
Yep. When I got in trouble as a kid,
It was
like,
huge.
my parents would take MTV away from me for a week when I was like
Solid
11, you know. But that was when grunge was just, you know, blowing up, and they had Liquid Television and Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy, like,
Yeah.
were all brand new, and yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, you're a little bit ahead of me. I caught, like, the coattails of that a little bit. And, yeah, my MTV generation was, like, Spring Break,
Oh,
TRL.
yeah, that's when I stopped watching
fucking
that crap.
the countdowns and, I don't know, all
Yeah.
that bullshit and Road Rules or whatever the fuck it was. But
Yep.
when people used to actually make music videos, and then they would have behind the scenes how they made this music video with Blink 182 or whatever the fuck it was. Like, yeah, they don't have that shit now. I mean, people make music videos, right? They just put them on YouTube, though, I guess.
I don't know.
Does MTV exist?
Yeah, but I don't know I haven't turned it on.
VH1.
The last time I flipped through and I saw MTV, it was that Tosh.0 ripoff show.
Oh, I never saw that. Oh, are you talking about the skater?
Or something? Ridiculousness?
Ridiculousness.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
was
with
a
Rob
really,
Dyrdek.
a really terrible version of Tosh.0.
Because he's not
Yeah.
funny. Like, nobody on that show is funny or should be saying
exactly.
anything
They
at
have people
all.
sit on the couch just laughing. They're just laughter. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. I mean, they made money off of it, but you can't duplicate what fucking
No.
Tosh does. That shit. Literally, it was the equivalent of them just being like, hey, watch this funny video, and then you watching it, and everything else that happened within the show was pointless.
Yeah. I think I made it through like half
Like,
an
thanks.
episode once, and that was, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, and this was the last time.
That probably is the last time. I was gonna say, I probably watched the Jersey Shore at some point on
Oh my
MTV.
god, really?
I mean, not like religiously
accident
or anything,
or
but I
on purpose?
no, like man, I'll be real. I was
so
no,
disappointed.
hold on. I was so against the fucking Jersey Shore for seasons when that shit was all hyped up. And goddamn Demi pulled me in somehow. She legit had DVDs of the Jersey Shore. And it was like her secret hidden guilty pleasure right when I met her. And I was like, get the
that's
fuck out of
terrible,
here.
man.
I made fun of her forever. She was like, you just have to watch it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, it's going to make my eyes bleed, but I'll do
No.
it. And I did. And it was like watching the fucking sun explode. You don't want to look away.
No.
You just have to see it
I've
happen.
never seen an episode.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have a stomach for it. It's not even that like I'm trying to say I'm too high minded for it. The shit makes me pissed off. Like I get too angry watching people like that, and yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
not
do it
good.
at all. It's like for me, it's like driving and being in 4 lanes, and everybody around you is driving like a fucking jackass, and you can't get to where you want to go. Like that's what watching MTV and all those reality shows is like to me.
Where'd you guys voted as like the worst driving city or state
Omaha,
in the country
man.
or some shit?
Worst drivers.
That's crazy.
Dude, every day, man. Like I'm.
Maryland's pretty bad too.
I
So
think
you guys are fucking awesome.
Man, I said it before. They don't care if they get where they go, like because they're still fucking in Omaha or in Nebraska or Iowa at the best case scenario.
They're like, we got nothing to
Yeah.
look forward to. Fuck
No, I
this.
see it in the fucking assholes and their work trucks driving in the left lane, just doing exactly the speed limit, and everybody across all 3 to 4 lanes doing the exact speed limit or 2 miles an hour under.
Yeah, I think we talked about this literally last episode, and there is a special place in hell reserved for those
Dude,
motherfuckers.
that's like 8th level of hell shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Is that the cold one?
It gets colder the deeper you go. Like the last one's the frozen
Oh.
block getting shafted by Satan for all of eternity, I believe. But you got to leave
Oh,
some
being
wiggle
shafted
room. You
by
can't
Satan.
go all the way to the extreme. You got to leave some room for murderers
The
and
real
rapists
bad.
and stuff, which are
Yeah.
slightly worse than the terrible drivers.
Yeah. Pedophiles are slightly worse than terrible drivers. You're
so
right.
I got to leave wiggle room for them.
There's a margin there. That's
Yeah.
good. That's fair. I think that's a fair
Yeah.
thing.
Can't go all in on everything, you know.
No. Yeah,
If
you're right.
everything's a 10 on the pain scale, then it loses, its purpose.
It loses all
Yeah.
of its value.
So,
Exactly.
but yeah, sorry to go back into that. Anytime driving comes up, I lose my shit and start going off on a tangent.
It's okay. It's okay. I feel like we were sliding into that. We needed to get out of the way so we could move forward. Otherwise, that was just going to be in the back of your mind all fucking day, right?
Totally. I feel better.
Just get that shit out.
My chest, I just feel like I can breathe a little bit now. That's good.
That's good. I know, man. When I'm on my motorcycle, I fucking offensively, defensively ride everywhere I go. Like I always thought I have this same mentality. I don't like haul ass and just obliterate the speed limit like a lot of people. Like I drive a little faster, but you kind of can't help that. But anyways, I will haul ass momentarily to get around shitty cars, semis, anything like that. I'm like, if I ever get pulled over doing like 100 miles an hour on my motorcycle, I'd be like, dude, I was trying to save my own life by getting away from these fucking people, okay? Like, I'm sorry if you don't understand that, but it's the best way I can prevent some other asshole from fucking.
Dude, if I was a cop and somebody used that as an excuse, I was stuck behind these slow ass drivers and I was just trying to get around them and got a little away from me. 100% of the time, like 100 out of 100, I let them go.
Yeah, well, no, seriously. If I get fucking somehow boxed in by some slow fucking drivers and some dickhead doesn't see me, or I'm just going the speed limit next to some fucking semi or some car, like, nah, man, I don't play that shit. I will get the fuck by everybody and have my own little space to exist in because I don't trust anyone else on the road. I know I'll be fine. I'm worried about everybody else trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Bunch of dummies.
I'm surprised I haven't been involved in a road rage incident because I stare people down these days. Like, I don't even hide it, you know? When I finally get around somebody that's been doing less than the speed limit and I've been stuck behind them for 5 minutes trying to get to work or whatever, I just fucking stare at them with like just my eyes got to be bloodshot, you know what I mean? But whenever anybody actually gets over, gets over, you know, like I actually wave at them, you know? I'm trying to encourage like the positive behavior, like
positive reinforcement. Man. That's solid, bro.
You got to do both.
No one wants to pull on the side of the road with you staring them down because I don't think they have any clue as to how many weapons you have in your car at any given
like
time.
4 or 5, like, you know, nothing crazy.
4 or 5. I mean, mostly they're for safety reasons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Totally.
Escape reasons and whatnot, but they can be quickly turned into assault weapons.
Apocalypse happens, man. Like, unless you're at home, you gotta be ready for something, you know? If you're on the road at work, you gotta have a weapon somehow.
I've thought about it, and I'm like, all right, if shit hits the fan, I have enough time to get me and the boys, hopefully, to wherever the fuck you are as quickly as possible without getting stuck on the road. And that's like a huge inevitability that the roads are going to be jammed. I'm going to be fucked.
Yeah, man.
Like, how do I get to your bunker?
I don't have a bunker.
Which is just your house.
My house was.
Which is just your brick apartment.
No, my plan, I'm not doing a shelter in place. My plan's more of like a bug out. Get the fuck out. Go. Well, I mean, we can go into this all day because it depends on which apocalypse is happening, but generally North Canada area.
Is that where it is? Canada? Are you going full wilderness, or do you want to be somewhat near a city so you can like raid that shit when you need to?
Mostly wilderness. You gotta, I mean, you know, within reach of a city, but you gotta get the fuck away from people.
I mean, for the most part, I don't know that you would necessarily need anything from a city if you can live off the land well enough. You know, if you're stockpiled with at least enough things for you to be able to create your own resources, which is what? Food, a fuel source, wood.
Yeah. All you really need is shelter and food. That's really all you truly need.
Yeah. Water resource, you're good to go. Did you have any of those pens that you can just stick in a stream and apparently you're good to go?
I've got a few of those. They're called life straws. I've got a few of them in different like bug out bags and stuff.
Are those legit?
Yeah, no, they are. They wouldn't let us use them when we were in SEER training, but I've used one on my own just to check it out, and yeah, no, it's legit.
I know I've seen YouTube videos of people drinking piss or
Yeah,
water and other weird things, and or they'll suck it through it and they'll spit it into another cup and it comes out clear some fucking
yeah.
how.
No,
I
they
don't know why
work.
my Brita takes 10
Uh,
minutes to do 4 cups of water, but this fucking straw does it
yeah,
instantaneously.
yeah. No, they're definitely a must have. But you never know how the world's gonna end, man. Like,
I think the bigger thing that I've been worried about lately, and when I say worried, it's very loosely, but solar flares, man.
for sure, yeah,
Like the grid going down. That besides everything else, I mean, any sort of outbreak or virus is totally possible at any fucking time. But the solar flare thing is another thing. If the grid goes down, people are gonna lose their
yep.
shit, man. And people lose their shit
Oh yeah,
quick. Like you see any little natural disaster, shit hits the fan. And that's when they even know that support emergency help is on the
yep.
way. And people still fucking start destroying
Yep,
shit.
for sure, man. Like once the grids go out and they're fried, and you need to rebuild the infrastructure, there are going to be millions and millions of people, depending on how widespread it is. But I mean, it could be the majority of the world could fry with a big enough solar flare,
Yeah.
and
Communication
gone,
goes down.
completely
That's huge.
gone. I mean, people
If
within a
nothing
week,
else,
people will be
people will start.
murdering their neighbors for food.
Oh yeah, dude, panic as soon as communication stops and you get no information from the
Yep.
government or the outside world. People freak out, and that's when people all of a sudden will be like, "Oh man, the government maybe wasn't that bad, and they did have some useful
Yeah.
useful attributes about them." Shit, man, FEMA wasn't all
Yeah.
terrible, even though it's not great.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't know. That shit goes down. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be
Yeah,
pretty.
I got to admit when I think about that scenario, giving up my assault rifles doesn't seem like the best idea. But at the same time, I still have more guns than I can shoot at one time. So
That's a huge
yeah,
thing. People that have stockpiles of dozens and dozens of guns, you're like, what the fuck are you? How many can you hold at once,
yeah,
bro? I guess maybe you have 20 stacked, all with the, I don't even
no,
know. Matt, you got a huge extended family that's showing up at your
no.
house when
And,
shit
and
goes
my
down.
whole thing is being mobile, getting away from where I need to get away from to where I need to get to. So having 15, 20 guns is fucking stupid. I have 2 big ammo cans and 4 or 5 weapons and a bunch of food and water purification stuff, and get the fuck out.
Do you have any like mobile solar cells?
I have a
Or are
little
those?
charger that has like the top of it. It's like a multi-purpose battery that has like a radio built in. It has a USB charger built in, and on the top of it has a solar panel, just to kind of recharge shit. And also has a hand crank on the side, so if you don't have solar power, you can sit there and like
Oh, that's fucking
crank
smart,
it and
man.
get at least some radio or recharge your phone or
Some
whatever you're
juice.
trying to do.
Yeah. Do you
It's an
have
emergency
a?
thing.
Yeah, the crank thing, that's
Yeah,
smart to have that built in too, because that's the
yeah,
default
yeah.
for sure. You never know. The solar cells could die.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be able to get enough
Yep,
sunlight from whatever you're stuck in Washington State. You're
yep, for
fucked.
sure.
But do you have or have you ever thought about getting a sat phone and just letting it chill?
I never have, to be honest.
That kind of
Yeah,
surprises me.
if shit goes down that quickly, I don't know what use it would be.
Yeah, I would. Right before I said that, I was thinking that if there was a cataclysmic solar flare that took everything out, the satellites are going to get
Yeah,
fried too. So your sat phone wouldn't be
yeah,
useful. I remember thinking about getting one in doing which I've never done and might not ever do, but I would like to. But doing like a serious wilderness exploration type thing where you're really just hitting the fucking woods hard.
yeah,
If worst case scenario, you're out wherever and you're too far away, obviously your cell phone's not going to work. And you're too far away to get to your vehicle, to get back, to contact somebody. Like having a sat phone on hand would be real fucking clutch if you're a day or two's hike out when you really need some
for
fucking help.
sure. Yeah, yeah. If I were doing anything
But
like that extreme, I would look into acquiring a sat phone, but
I think we need to do that one day. I think we need to go full on survival camping wilderness for like a week or some shit, a couple weeks, and just do
yeah,
that,
man.
whatever the
No,
fuck
that's like
that means.
how
I don't even know.
a lot of modern horror movies start these days. People just out in the woods
Yeah.
and I just watched on Netflix The Ritual. Have you seen that?
No,
Oh,
man.
these guys go on this hiking trip through, I think, like Switzerland or Sweden. No, Sweden, yeah, because it's like a Norse thing. But one of the guys rolls his ankle. No, he busts his knee in like a big ass sort of like pothole on the hiking trail, and
Yep.
so they decide to cut off the trail through this thick, dense, like ancient wooded area, and they come across some like fucking 2,000, 3,000 year old occult witch shit, and it goes
For sure.
sideways real quick. But super solid. It's one of my favorite horror movies that I've seen in the last 3-4 years, probably.
The
Yeah.
Ritual? Oh, I'll check that out. Is it legit
Yeah,
scary?
no, it's legit. It's creepy as fuck.
That's good. That first thing that came to mind was Blair Witch Project.
No. This shit is good. It delivers from the beginning to the end. It's solid all the way through.
On
Yep.
Netflix, huh?
Yep.
Shout out to Netflix for fucking hooking up just the media.
Oh man, last week I was
Their game is strong.
like every night last week I probably watched 2 horror movies like a night, just kind of googling like best horror movies streaming on this on Netflix, on Amazon
That's the
Prime,
move.
and kind of caught up on. I watched that one. I watched The Witch. I watched
Hereditary?
Hereditary.
Oh, The Witch
Yeah,
was good.
yeah.
I haven't seen Hereditary, but The Witch was fucking
Yeah,
good.
they're
man.
both pretty intense. The Witch, it took me a while to get
Oh.
into. I'm not gonna lie, I was fucking around on my phone a lot, but
It was weird. It was
once it
different.
got going,
It was different.
especially the last, I would say, quarter, it really fucking picked up.
Yeah. What was the fucking? Oh, anyways,
What?
never mind. Spoiler.
Yeah.
alert. But yeah, that one's tough because they do like the old English, and there's not a lot going on in the
Yeah.
beginning. It's kind of just living life in whatever that time period
Yep.
was, and then it's still fucking, it's weird, but it was good. You know what I did watch while I was traveling the other weekend? I watched The Jacket.
Oh yeah,
As promised. Dude, it was good. I don't want to say a lot about it in case anybody else watches. The one thing that I will say,
it's like
throughout-
15, 14 years old, so I think we can talk about it.
all right, fuck anybody
Yeah.
that hasn't seen that shit then. Spoiler alert. You know what? If you're listening right now and you're like, oh, I want to watch The Jacket because they've been talking about it, just skip ahead like 10
Yeah.
fucking minutes. So I was waiting for a Shutter Island-esque type of scenario to occur, and it just never fucking happened.
Like a twist, and it actually was what it said it was. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to say it was a letdown, but I had so much anticipation of like, oh, I see where this is going. This is, and because this was before Shutter Island, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
right? So I was like, oh, this is the original fucking insane asylum, blah 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 story, and it never got there. So I was kind of like, oh man, I was way wrong.
Yeah.
But it was good. I was holding my breath through way too much of it just because of the claustrophobia
Yeah, man.
that just dominated the fucking
It was just
movie.
a really good, really well done movie. The acting was great. The
What's his name is marvelous.
Adrian Brody. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Honestly, he's one of my favorite actors of all time, and he just doesn't get the roles for whatever reason. Maybe he's an asshole in real life or whatever, but God, he's so fucking underutilized.
Yeah, after I watched it, I was like, why the fuck is this guy not in more
No.
shit
And he won an
nowadays?
Oscar before that for the Pianist. Yeah.
Pianist. Yeah. Another
Mm-hmm.
amazing fucking movie. And the difference in the two of them and the range that he has in his acting capabilities is just
Yeah.
tremendous.
And Son of Sam, I don't know if you ever saw that. With
I
John
never saw that.
Leguizamo.
Was that about-
and
I love me some
yeah,
Johnny
no, it was
Blaze.
about the murderer, the Son of Sam murderer. And
No, I
he
have
plays
no
like
idea.
a punk. Oh God, it's been so long. Like right when it came out, I saw it in the early 2000s. But he's really good in that. And that was the first thing I ever saw him in. And then the pianist, and then Jacket. But no, man, he's great. He just, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, his emotional range, all of it. I mean, given the scenario that he was put in, at least for the Jacket, as long as he was like, just do this shit to me, those things probably could come relatively naturally.
Yeah.
Just the emotion from it, but still, man, holy shit. It was
He was
really
in
good.
like the first Alien vs Predator movie or one of them
Oh
too.
yeah, it was they redid a Predator
Yes,
movie.
that's right.
It might have just been called The Predators
Yep,
or
you're right,
something
you're
like
right.
that, where for some reason they go to a fucking Predator
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, that was good too though. And he kind of carried that movie.
I was stoked about it. He definitely carried the movie. I don't remember being super enthusiastic about it after I watched it, but he was good still. They they're making another fucking Predator movie.
It's
or it just came out, or it's coming out.
Isn't it like Predators vs Aliens again or something like that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They're getting crazy.
Oh, they jumped the shark a long time ago on that.
So long ago.
Yeah.
You know what the fucked up thing is they still have me. I'll probably watch it at some point in life. It'll be for free.
Yep. Yeah. If it comes on HBO or whatever, I'll watch it, but that's about it.
100%. I'll watch Predator walk around and just fucking destroy people. That's cool to me. But that shit died with goddamn Arnold Schwarzenegger. Did you ever watch Predator 2? That was actually
with Danny
Glover?
That
was okay too. Danny, Danny G.
Oh, is that what we call him now, Danny G?
Oh, that's what's happening. Right. I'm just creating shortened names for everybody.
That's what's
I'm too
hot
lazy
with the
to say
kids
people's
on the
full
street
names
these days. Danny G.
Yeah, that's shit they're doing, I think.
Nice.
God damn it. He was in Shooter with Mark Wahlberg, and he was like a senator. And I could not get through that movie because he had a lisp. Sorry to anyone that has a lisp out there, but oh my god, his character decided to have a lisp, and it was infuriating to me for some reason.
His character decided. That's awesome. I told you about that date I had, that blind date years ago. It was when I was in Monterey, and the chick had a lisp. Yeah, no. This other chick, I went out with her one time. So I got to the restaurant, we get there, we go sit down. She's a fucking loud talker right off the bat. Like, super loud.
Ooh.
And she has a lisp.
Louder than me loud?
Oh, yeah. Like, especially in a restaurant. Like, it was a nice restaurant, so everybody kind of has that restaurant voice, and they're just kind of talking.
Yeah.
And this chick was just full volume, like you're in a house party talking to somebody volume. And, she had a really, really bad lisp, but whatever, it's all good. Except for the entire, from the time I sat down, it was an interrogation/interview about just everything. Asking me if I had any bad habits, blah, blah. Because her last boyfriend did this, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, God.
I inhaled my food so quickly. And she sat there with this, like, spinach, this giant fucking spinach salad, eating one spinach leaf at a time. It was the fucking worst. At one point, I was, like, prodding her. I was like, hey, you don't like your salad or what? She's like, oh, yeah, I like it. And she took, like, a leaf, put it in her mouth, and kept talking.
Took a bite.
It wasn't even a bite. It was a leaf.
That's bad. Nobody should be airing their grievances about life or past romantic relationships on any dates. Any of the first sort of dates.
And if it comes up by accident, sometimes it does. Realize it,
sure.
Recognize it, process it, move on, move away from it.
Things happen organically.
Yeah, move away from it. Be like, I don't want to talk about that.
Let's not dwell on your fucking ex-boyfriend and how pissed off you are about that shit. That's a real good sign that I'm going to avoid the fuck out of you. Whoop.
But, whatever. It's all good.
It's all right. That's coming from someone like me who has no idea what the fuck they're doing in the dating realm.
Yeah.
So,
no, none of us do, man. It's all good.
Hashtag single forever, probably.
That's right. I know not to yell at a stranger while on a first date.
That's good.
And interrogate them about their fucking exes and shit. Like, that much I know.
Dude, you're a leg up on some people.
That chick I'm up on for sure.
Way up on. Poor thing.
Yeah, poor girl.
That's all right.
She wasn't, man. Because then she harassed me for a while after, so So fuck her. Like, no, I was the victim.
See? Hashtag
Yep.
me too. I don't think I can.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. There are a lot of things. Ooh, man. That actually... So this Kavanaugh thing, I was a latecomer to this somehow. I haven't been paying attention to the fucking news, and I finally flipped on NPR, and I remember him being talked about for an appointed seat for the Supreme Court, but I didn't know anything about him. And then I heard about this sexual assault, quote-unquote, scandal that had come out, and I didn't know who it was related to. And then I found out it was him, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, come on, dude. And I was trying to, unfortunately, I was trying to be like, all right, well, let me at least get the facts before I start jumping to conclusions, because I didn't actually know what had happened. And then I read it, and I was like, gee, oh, fuck. Come on now. Well, the Senate will hopefully do their job and get the fucking rid of this dude, and we can move on. Nope. So they're doing their inquiry with him, right? Hasn't he been sitting down in front of Congress?
He would have. They would have already voted if this hadn't come out, and they were trying to push it through. They basically told her last week, like, you have until midnight tonight to tell us if you're going to testify next week in front of the Senate and the entire world.
Oh, really?
Or we're just going to go ahead and put him on the Supreme Court. Yeah, that's what they said, basically. And Mitch McConnell came on and said, we're just going to plow through. And all these Republican senators are saying, we're just going to go, it's not going to change our minds. They're saying this before they even heard her speak. It's not going to change our minds. We're just going to, plow through, blah, 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 which is amazing. Like, even if they're being honest about it, it's politically stupid to say that they're saying, basically, I don't care what she has to say. We've already made up our minds. We're just doing this to appease people. I mean, that's exactly what they're saying, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I don't know how else to interpret like the fact that they said we are just going to plow through this and nothing she says is going to change my mind.
I don't know what's better or worse. Best case scenario, they maybe just don't believe her for whatever reason and they think it's a political move and they're like, fuck it, we're going forward. Worst case scenario, they're like, yeah, he raped someone, but we don't give a shit because it was a while ago, so it's whatever, and we need him on the bench.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Well, there was somebody interviewing at the Trump rally last night or 2 nights ago or whatever.
Still doing rallies. Yep. President of the United States, but still needs to do rallies.
He hasn't stopped.
I know. It's his favorite thing.
Yeah, it's insane. But anyway, so this reporter goes around to Trump rallies and asks straight up questions. It's not like misleading or the gotcha questions or whatever, they want to say. And people are basically saying over and over, we think she's lying. Why didn't she report it at the time? Or they're saying, it was a long time ago. I don't really care. That's what they're saying. Those are the only two camps that really exist in any significant manner.
I'm waiting for him to go to a rally and do like a what's it called when you say something and then they finish the sentence for you? It's like a call and repeat or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I know what you're saying. I forget. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can't wait for him to stand up there and be like, grab him by the, and then the fucking whole crowd just goes, pussy.
Yeah.
Like unabashedly, like, yeah, no, we're assholes and we don't give a fuck anymore. Like, we're all just gonna come out of the closet.
Out of the closet as far as we're assholes and we don't give a fuck. 2 years ago,
you were 100%
when they were talking about fuck that. When Obama got elected and they were stringing up, hanging lifelike-ish mannequins of Obama by a fucking noose and lighting them on fire with the Confederate flag in the background. I'm pretty sure that solidified their political views on everything.
I had this moment when you were saying that because I don't remember accounts of that.
Oh, I do.
And in my head, I went, there's no way that happened. And then I took a second of thought. I went, oh, yeah, of course. That definitely happened.
I seen
Without actually remembering the reports of it, that definitely happened. That's
insane. Like that John Oliver skit that he does. No, that's Bill Maher. Bill Maher, he's like, what's that one skit? I don't know that it's true, but I know it's a fact that, such and such and such.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah,
Man.
for sure. I'm not saying everyone that voted for Trump was a racist, but every racist voted for Trump.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Isn't that the first thing in high school? Like, if you take any kind of philosophy class, the first thing you learn is like the basic logic equation of just because all X are Y doesn't mean that all Y's are Z's.
Yes. Exactly.
But if
it's a very basic logic problem that you take in like 5th grade. Just because every apple is friends with orange doesn't mean that every orange is friends with banana, even though every apple is friends with banana.
Yeah, no, that works too. I didn't know where you're going with that, but
sorry everybody for who just had to listen to that. Y'all know what I'm saying. I used to love those puzzles, dude. When I was in like middle school and we had the mathletics competition for whatever age we were, those logic problems were my favorite, where they would give you 4 paragraphs of information and then you had to build a chart and try to figure out who the fuck was wherever in the thing. Oh god, those are my favorite things.
You know what the fucked up thing is? Not to alienate everybody, but we're going to the fucking DLPT, the questions on those are like logic problems. So you're not only translating the language, but you're also doing a logic problem at the same time with a time limit. So
the worst is when you get to the and I took the upper level for Spanish. 3 plus 3, nice. Bitch. But yeah, bruh. But when they start doing stupid nuanced shit like, what does this word mean? Does it mean that he's happy? That he's fucking
elated?
I don't know. What? Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what? Wait, that shit means the same fucking thing for the most part.
It's just like, shades of the same color.
You're splitting nut hairs on this one. Come on, guys. Settle down with that fucking bullshit.
Yep. So, anyways, we will keep that to ourselves.
Whatever, y'all. Holla at your boy. You need some help. I got you. What?
Not
Just
me.
kidding.
Not me, really. For sure. I'm the worst fucking linguist ever.
That's all right. I'm speaking specifically to Spanish. Which everybody out there's like, bitch, do you know how many people just know Spanish? Right. I'm like, I realize that. I'm a white guy who knows a few fucking phrases, so.
Well, you passed the Portuguese test too, right? Yeah, man. You're like quadruple lingual.
Both of them. Dude, I was rocking that Spanish, both Portuguese and Russian.
Yeah, that's legit.
I have a tenuous grasp of all of them. My Spanish is okay, but.
I'm like a 3+ in English. That's,
I know, dude. It's funny because sometimes, I don't know, it'll come up and be like, what do you do? And I'll tell somebody what I do. And they're like, wow, that's really impressive. I'm like, nah, hold on. Let's take a step back.
Just so you know, quick. Before you think I'm smart, I'm the worst of all of them. So,
Yes. Yeah. I'm like scraping the bottom of the barnacle barrel when it comes to this shit. I just happen to be qualified enough because standards are low to be able to do this shit. You're welcome, America.
Yeah. It was mostly just willpower getting through those courses, but.
Yep. U.S. government keeping standards low 3 centuries later. Man. Thank you, gentlemen.
Hey, we're doing something right.
We are, I guess. I don't really know. Ooh, God, that's another one. Damn, this is going political. My bad. But Mr. President Trump's going to be speaking in front of the UN pretty soon.
Oh, no way.
That's going to be exciting. Yeah, man. Aren't they? They're meeting up. I don't know. Are they doing it in New York or are they doing it? I don't know if it's in New York.
I don't know. I know who's coming to New York tomorrow. Nikki Haley's meeting with somebody tomorrow in New York.
Who the fuck is Nikki Haley?
She's the ambassador to the UN for the U.S.
Yeah. Oh, I should probably know that.
But, oh God, I forget. One of the countries. Oh, Iran. The Prime Minister of Iran. Is coming to New York, and after all those, back and forth over the last couple months with them, so that'll be kind of an interesting development, I guess.
Yeah, that's a huge deal, especially because the last time that President Trump was in front of the UN, he called fucking Kim Jong-un Rocket Man and all that bullshit. You're like, great.
Short, fat guy, Rocket Man.
Yeah, Rocket Man. Whatever happened with that shit? Did all of that just go to hell?
Well, so to give you
Did they
my
end up?
updates
No.
as far as what I know is,
For everybody listening, I clearly get at least 70% of my global news information from Chris. So we're all learning together right now.
so since Trump came back from the meeting they had in Taiwan a few months ago and declared that no nuclear threat, all independent agencies have said that there's no signs that they've slowed down even any of their nuclear developments, and they haven't made a single gesture other than letting some of the remains from the Korean War of U.S. soldiers. They released some of those. So that was the only outcome, basically, of that meeting.
Well, and South Korea, this is probably unrelated to that meeting, but South Korea and North Korea are creating some sort of a new like facility at the DMZ to hold.
Yeah, so
like
they've met a few times now, and I think it was so they had 2 weeks ago. They reunified some families and allowed those things to take place, and then within the last week they've done the photo op thing where they shook hands and said that they want a unified Korea, denuclearized peninsula, and want to work on reunifying families and coming together and all these different things and happy feel good stuff. Which is all, it's all good. It comes down to the details of what each side is willing to give up and what North Korea accepts as far as like getting rid of their nuclear program, because that's really what it all comes down to, is the nuclear program.
And to be fair, in North Korea's defense, which is a fucked up thing to say, but there are enough instances where, like in Libya and Iraq...
Well, the Libya one is what they go to every time.
It's a good one. It sucks, but it's a good one, man.
Can't argue with it.
They have a really good reason to believe that if they suspend any of their nuclear capabilities, that there's a chance that the U.S. and allies or the U.S. will be like, boom, let's go to town and fucking wreck ship. And then all of a sudden, Kim Jong-un has a bayonet stuck up his asshole. Like,
but I think
he's not looking for that.
I think there's still the same big deterrent that was there before. Their nuclear program had credibility, which was, nobody wants to get stuck in a proxy war in North Korea between China and U.S.
Right.
Which is the only reason. That, and they could still hit Seoul instantly with just conventional weapons.
Immediately.
And take out millions of lives. So, even if they got rid of their nuclear program, they still have a couple cards to play.
Yeah. I think one of my biggest things is, and I have no idea, this is pure speculation, but I assume that Kim Jong-un, for himself, has a pretty good thing going just for him, right? Everybody else in his country is fucked. But for himself, he's got a good thing going. And I don't see him being necessarily suicidally apt to be like, I'm going to push it so far to where I'm going to end my own life because of blah, 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 which could be complete horse shit. I might be completely wrong. Unless he sees no other end other than his untimely demise. And then it's like, fuck it, let's go all in. But the way it stands, it's like, well, he only needs to rock the boat enough to get aid assistance or to get China on his side, and to be enough of a quote-unquote threat to just keep the U.S. or other people or South Korea from fucking invading and taking that shit down.
Well, I mean, as far as...
I'm also talking out of my ass.
I think the only thing he's concerned with, really, I mean, if you boil it down to just the survival instinct, that's what drives everybody. Like the primary...
limbic
what
system.
Is it, like the id or whatever, the id, ego, and fucking all, the pyramid or whatever of needs, but survival is at the base, and him getting overthrown is the end of it for him. So he needs to keep control over the country for his own survival. If he opens up borders and people see what the rest of the world's like, they're gone. Like the Un dynasty or regime is completely fucking gone. once he loosens that grip to a certain point, there's no turning back. So, I mean, he's going to have to decide whether he's going to keep his people in perpetual slavery and I don't know if there's a better word for it. I mean, that they're just under his boot. So either he's going to do that, or he's going to try and make a pivot to being a good guy and, kind of liberating his people on his own, getting rid of the old ways to bring him into the new world.
That's what I was just thinking too. He would have to be the illuminary in all of this, who brings all of this and saves all of his people, instead of them seeing the light of him being the oppressor and his family being oppressors for so many decades. He would have to somehow be the hero that all of a sudden saved his nation by opening up the world and bringing in resources and all of that. So and eventually that's going to have to be what happens. There's no fucking way this shit lasts forever.
Well,
obviously.
I think you're right, except for he's probably concerned about the Gaddafi outcome. And that's what he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be the dead body being stabbed in the street, drug around behind a car.
Dude, even if he gets Saddam'd and pulled out of a fucking hole and hung later, you don't want that end either. You live in a hole for 6 months and then just get hung in front of everybody publicly. And was it televised?
I don't know, man. I don't really like that shit, so I don't watch it.
No, I don't either. No. Dude, I remember when... What was the website where it just showed people killing themselves or being killed? It was like Faces of Death or something.
When I was a kid, man, there was the VHSs, the tapes. People go to the Blockbuster and rent Faces of Death and Traces of Death.
Yeah.
And
that shit is dark, man.
I've never watched one. My friends, we'd have sleepovers with 4 or 5 kids, and they would have one of those, and I would just leave the room as soon as they put it on. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I remember people talking about or watching that shit, and I had no fucking interest in seeing any of that at all. I remember seeing one. It wasn't even on Faces of Death. It was maybe on YouTube or something on the internet that floated around. It was this local politician, I think, that held a press conference. He was at a podium, and he had a briefcase, and the only thing in a briefcase was a revolver. And he opens the briefcase at this press conference, pulls out a revolver, and everybody freaks out, and he calms them down for 2 seconds, no, it's all good. And then he quickly just turns and shoots himself in the mouth. And that's the only time I've ever seen anybody get shot like that, I guess. And it was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I think that was, that Filter song, Hey Man, Nice Shot, from the mid-90s.
Oh, is that what that was from?
I think that was the rumor. That was sort of the urban legend about that song. Hey Man, Nice Shot,
yeah. That was a crazy thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not publicly, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I'm against people taking their own lives.
Yeah.
Especially later in life. I'm all for what Oregon and those fucking people are doing. Oregon, it's fine. There's a right to die.
Law,
I'm pretty sure.
Terminally ill, suffering people.
Yeah, you got to go through hoops and some legalese to be able to actually do it. But once you prove that you're not fucking crazy and you're terminally ill, they'll let you right to die. However, I think the doc gives you some shit and you take it and then you're good to go. But I don't know, man. I don't blame people. Either you waste away in a fucking bed, or you do it at a moment where you can be like, hey, I am clear, my mind is still functioning, I can say goodbye to everybody, I can give them hugs, and I can do it that way. Or there's this weird thing with Western medicine where no matter what is going on, it's just the prolonging of life, no matter what the quality of that life is. And it's a strange fucking thing that we need to come to terms with.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that that's the best end for people. I sure as fuck don't want to be in hospice or in a hospital and die. I will crawl my ass out of a hospital with people pulling on me to get to a beach or anywhere and be with my family and be like, dude, just let me chill. It's fine.
For
We're
sure,
good.
man.
Let
I
this
totally
happen.
agree. I think there needs to be like an asterisk on the average lifespan for countries. You know, like they say, oh, it's gone up to blah blah blah. What's the average like quality of lifespan where you're not having to have somebody else wipe your ass for you and like feed you through a tube? Because once
100%,
things like
man.
that start happening, and you're just a body in a bed that's being kept alive by medicine, and yeah, that's your life's over. Just let go. I mean, what are you hoping for? Like what experiences, what quality, what happiness are you going to get in some future time?
I don't know. I think about that. My great grandfather had Alzheimer's disease, and I don't remember him being lucid ever because it was when I was young. So I only remember him being sick. And the times when we would go and visit him, he had no fucking clue who I was. He had to wear a diaper. My great grandmother had to take care of him with help. Had to change him, clothe him, make sure he didn't fucking run away and disappear. He had no clue who she was. And I was like, why? This poor guy has no fucking idea what's going on around him. Everyone there for him is suffering because they have all of this love and affection for this person who has no idea who the fuck they are anymore. Like, I will state this for the record. When I get to that point, y'all do me the favor of taking me the fuck out, please.
Oh, dude, you'll be lucky if I let you get to that point. I'm looking to take you out,
I don't
like,
want to get to that
anyways,
point.
like, so,
Dude, as soon as my memory starts skipping beats and I get lost on the street, and then all of a sudden I come back, I'm like, Chris, where the fuck was I? You're like, oh, that's it. All right. Hey, you know what? We got to go down to the...
look over there.
We got to go into
I'll
the
just
woods
push you
for a
out in
little
front of a
while.
bus. Yeah.
That's it.
First time you
fine.
ask me a question, from now on, I'm just going to push you in front of a bus. Be like, hey, he told me. He told me, like...
Shit. Hey, Chris, it's Saturday, right? Bitch, it's
Boom!
Friday. Shove.
There was...
All right, let's be a little bit more nuanced.
There was a Bill... or not Bill. Bill Burr. Yeah.
Oh, yes, William?
Yes, William Burr.
William Burr.
The
great orator of our generation.
Wait, didn't he shoot? No, that was Aaron Burr. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. You actually, as you started saying that, you had me convinced that that guy's name was William Burr. I was like,
so
peanut
Bill
butter
Burr
guy.
had a stand-up about a dude that wanted to die, right? And so what he did was he went up for a helicopter ride of the city. And so, and his plan was to like jump out. And and the funny part comes with the guy that was piloting had just took over for his like first day of like the family business, the helicopter, tourism industry. And so he's flying the helicopter, and this dude opens up the door and starts jumping out, and he's like trying to, and Bill Burr does the whole like from his perspective, like just watching it like in horror as the guy falls to his death. Yeah. But
Bill Burr's
the dude ends up living too, and is like in a body cast. So
that's a real
that
thing.
dude is so funny.
If you're gonna kill yourself, do it right, bro.
Yeah, man.
Do it right. Knock that shit out of the park, bro.
Is to fucking try and kill yourself and end up like just worse off in a body cast, and you can't even do anything.
Fuck that. Then come on, guys, come on. I need some assistance here. Clearly. Or like, I don't know if it's real, the urban legend of someone that tries to shoot themselves in the head and then they just blow out both their eyes and now their face is fucked and now they're alive and it's like, Jesus.
I don't know. I think
this shit got dark,
finds a way,
welcome,
even
everybody.
if it's, to die. Like,
that was so Jurassic Park.
That was purposely Jurassic Park.
Hold on to your butts.
I pull that on people and I just sneak it in. It's real subtle with life finds a way. And nobody gets it usually. Because I don't make it all dramatic and I don't try and sound like Jeff Goldblum. So
you don't need
I just do it for myself mostly, honestly.
Yeah, that's honestly the biggest one is hold on to your butts. I say that to my kids way too often in the car for no reason. If I slightly speed up in my vehicle while the kids are there, I'll be like, all right, boys, hold on to your butts. They already know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Samuel L. Jackson, for being amazing throughout decades worth of work.
I don't even know what that's from, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Hold on to your butts.
Dude, it's from Jurassic Park, bro. That's Samuel L. Jackson.
What? Samuel L.
When
Jackson
he
was in
fucking-
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, they... Shut the fuck up right now. Bro. You're hurting my soul. Fucking Newman from Seinfeld was in it.
Yep.
Goddamn Samuel L. Jackson was in it. And he was one of the computer techs like Newman. And he's smoking a cigarette the whole fucking time. And he's like, look, if we reset the power, maybe all the shit will go back to normal. And they go to reset the power. And he goes, hold on to your butts.
Man.
And he like clicks it. Or maybe that was when they started the actual ride. And Samuel L. Jackson had to leave. Spoiler alert.
Oh man, you
Samuel L.
ruined it for
Jackson
me.
left. He left to go try to reset the power. And later on in the movie, they find just an arm.
Dun dun
Samuel L.
dun.
Jackson's arm.
Huh. No, I haven't seen this shit in forever.
Yeah. He's been eaten by dinosaurs and sharks and probably other.
Here's a fun movie trivia fact. Larry Fishburne, otherwise known as Lawrence Fishburne,
Lawrence.
was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
I love how it.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2 as one of the orderlies in the insane asylum. And in the credits, it says Larry Fishburne. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, little fun fact for you.
He went full Lawrence after that. He's like, you know what? This Larry shit ain't working out for me. I need to have like a sir type of title.
You know, I like to go the other way. Like, he was in a major movie and fucking was like, yeah, bitches, it's fucking Lawrence now, you know?
Yeah. As soon as he was matricized,
Yeah.
he was like, it's Lawrence, bitch.
Yep.
There's no way he could play that character and then in the credits have Larry fucking show up.
Yeah. Whoever
That's
his
it.
agent was deserves a huge,
Crushed it.
huge shout out.
Someone named whatever, Jerry
Goldberg.
was like, Goldenbergstein
Yeah.
was like, listen, Larry, we got to go Lawrence on this one. I'm sorry. We're going as highbrow as possible. It's Larry bullshit. It's not working.
Yeah, yeah,
Best movie ever made.
yeah. Which one? Wait, The
Best
Matrix?
move-
Oh.
The name for The Matrix. But definitely The Matrix.
No, The Matrix was the shit, man. The
Yeah,
Oh, dude, that reminds me of. Now that we're like an hour fucking into our podcast, The Matrix is the first, my first introduction into like the simulation universe theory.
Oh, yes.
Like,
Oh, yes, please.
so, do you
Now you're
do
speaking
you
my
know?
language.
I mean, how much do you know about this? Are you familiar with it, or with the concept of all these physicists that say it's almost statistically inevitable that we're living in a simulation of some sort?
So I just listened to Elon Musk for like the fourth time, and he was talking about it again. And he was basically saying the same thing, how there's some sort of inevitability, but there is also the possible chance that we're the originators of what will be.
For sure. But if you look at like
there's still a chance.
yeah,
of
there
that.
is. There's a chance of that. But if you look at like a huge spectrum of cascading, predecessors and ancestors, the chance that we're the first of this long line of ancestral simulations is really pretty minuscule. You know what I mean?
So wait, are you saying that because the human species has been around long enough that like where we have lost glimpses of history that it had already been developed previously? Like, wait, what do you?
So
what
I'm saying is in the grand scheme of the theory that we're living in a simulation, that our future generations, are so advanced that whether it be or some super intelligent life form, whether it be quote unquote a god or just an advanced species out there, have created our solar system, universe, whatever, and we're actually running in a manufactured simulation. So if it is our ancestors that are so advanced and they're running previous generations of their ancestors. I'm sorry, not our ancestors. Our what's the other word? The opposite of ancestors. Our predecessors?
Future
our future people, whatever. If they're the ones that are so far advanced that they're running simulations of
we just lost all credibility
of their ancestors, and which is us, right?
Right.
Then, oh my god, I totally fucking lost where I was going with that.
I need to be.
I need to smoke a little bit at this point.
But exactly. I didn't say that outright, but that's exactly what I was referring to.
That's totally.
There's totally a possibility that this multiverse that is possibly what we're living in is just a substrate of all of these different simulations that exist.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me bring it back around to try and like save face a little bit.
Do it.
If our, the people that follow us in life and go on, our species lives to be advanced enough to create these high fidelity versions of life that we are, quote unquote, living in and living out through whatever advanced computing and quantum universe theories or whatever, then the only way we're not in a simulation is if we are the first step. Like, we are them before they get there. Otherwise, all the other scenarios are we're somewhere along the timetable of being in a simulation.
Yeah, that's a good
unless
point.
we're the very first, then we're in the simulation.
Yes.
So statistically, that's what like Sam Harris argues. The statistics are on the side of living in a simulation.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And all of that's very plausible, and just as plausible is the fact that we could be the first ones.
It is.
But it makes sense that, dude, I don't know, that whole thing's, it's going to fucking happen. It for sure is going to happen. If we're not doing it now. How funny is that? If we're in a simulation, getting to the point where we're creating a simulation within the simulation, and that's just... And it's so real that we never understand what's really going on, and it's just a perpetual thing that continues to happen. And then we're like incepting ourselves within the simulation theory over and over and over.
Dude, that's the reason I love Rick and Morty so much, is because that's the hypothesis for the whole show, right? And they even have that one episode with Stephen Colbert voicing. So he creates a mini-verse. And that miniverse creates a teeny verse.
Is that the engine in his car?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that was good.
Which is basically the whole theory played out in a cartoon.
Yeah. No, I know. And yeah, that's good. I love that shit. I love that shit so much. I don't think it really even fucking matters if that's what's going on. Like, Elon Musk was talking about, if it's true that we're actually in a simulation right now, how fucking boring is the outside world that we've just decided that we're going to be plugged in? Or what the fuck went wrong in the outside world to where we don't want to engage with it anymore, and everyone has decided that we're going to live within the simulation now, right?
No, I mean, that's a good question. One of the things I was reading about recently about that was we could be just a form of entertainment for a higher life form, and once we stop warring and being interesting, our existence could come to an end, like, who knows? Like, and these are kind of far out there theories, but they're fun to think about, and unless you kind of unless you kind of run through these different thoughts, you're not going to touch all the bases.
I mean, that you could extrapolate that forever. Of there's a possibility that we're the first. There's always a possibility because of probability. There's a possibility that we're the first intelligent life to exist in the universe. There's a possibility. Whether or not, like, I don't know what the statistics on that would be.
Well, nobody knows, because also, I mean, it's just the universe is just too big and we can't get there, we can't explore it.
Right. And there's also the possibility that as far as advanced life forms go, that we're on the fucking bottom rung of all of that shit. And we're dumb as fuck. And there is the potential for having some higher being, like you said, that just could have created us, hybrided us, or is just observing us and being like, look at these dumb pieces of
Yeah.
shit. And who's even to say what a higher being would consider like a compass of morality? I think there's this weird, I shouldn't say weird thing, but there's this tendency to perceive an advanced life form as possibly being beyond what we have as, oh god.
No, I'm tracking. Keep going.
But like being beyond the warring state of things and being of such a higher consciousness that there's no aggression,
that it's a completely benevolent
there's
being.
no jealousy. Right, there's just a melding of minds and emotions, and so they're a peaceful people who have so much control over their environment and everything. There's no reason for any to be warlike or feuding. But conversely, what if they're just balling out of control? They got laser beams and they can fly through space and they're just fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Like, who's to say that's not reality either?
Oh man, there's so much packed into those statements. So
I know. I'm sorry.
If there is a higher life form that is somehow responsible for us, or watching over us, or observing us, or whatever, our sense of morality, I think we are projecting onto whatever it might be. Like you said, who's to say if it's benevolent or if it's just... Listen, the universe is a treacherous place full of 99.9% of it is going to fucking destroy us. You know what I mean? Like plus 99 up 99999. Keep going. Will just kill us. Like, I mean, just finding another planet that we could survive on and trying to find life, we haven't even been able to find it. So statistically, almost everything in existence wants to destroy us and kill us. So anything that comes out of that, you would think would be equally as harsh and as tough and, kind of like a lion. A lion in the savannah stalking its prey, it doesn't consider morality. It survives, it does what it wants to do, and it lives its lifespan. It's a product of its environment. And anything that's a product of this fucking insane, harsh universe could be just as indifferent.
Well, that's like how we look at ourselves as higher life forms. And you don't give a fuck about for the most part, people don't go around like genociding ants. But they do, too. They don't give a fuck. Yeah. If you got ants in your house or some ant nest in your backyard, you will murderize the shit out of all of them and not fucking blink an eye.
You're right.
Or if a mosquito lands on you, you don't give a fuck about that dude. Like us being quote unquote higher intelligence life forms, like some other worldly being could look at us just as we look at an insect and be, they don't feel or think. Like, look at them. They're fucking primates still. They haven't even come out of the fucking primordial ooze of life. Look at them.
They're still using kinetic weapons and bullets and warring, and they're only 3-dimensional, and they have to use vibrational, echoes in the atmosphere to communicate to each other, and
exactly. They use radio waves like fucking assholes. Look at this shit.
Yep.
I know.
Dude, we could be the bottom of the barrel.
I think it's very possible that we are not fucking at the top of it.
Definitely. Like, statistically, the chances of us being on the top are so astronomically against us.
And you have to think about how much we've explored our own solar system, let alone galaxy, let alone the cluster of hundreds of billions of galaxies in our universe, which is possibly made up of billions of other universes.
Oh my god.
Your brain just starts to fucking melt when you think about that shit. When you really start to think about the potential for that
and that's
shit.
just the attempt at it, because you can't really, no human brain can fully grasp the size. All you can, that's like trying to say, like, paint a picture of forever.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah.
And then do that times forever. Like, you just can't.
God, I hate the forever. The forever thing is fucking, it boggles my mind
Yeah.
so hard. The expanse of the universe and all of it. And, I had this thing where I was thinking earlier, I was like, I was probably being cynical, but I was like, what if they're all wrong? What if they're all wrong? Oh, you know what it was? And this is dumb because somebody can Google it and easily find the answer.
Okay.
But it's like, who came up with the fucking weight of Earth and then the weight of the sun? Like, apparently the sun is like 330 times the weight of Earth. I was like, how the fuck did they measure that shit? Obviously, it's a giant rounding calculation, but I'm like, okay, there are a lot of different things with a lot of different masses, with a lot of different weights, and yet there are different sedimentary compositions of the Earth, and then whatever lava state that we have at the core. Like, I don't know how they calculate how much that bullshit fucking weighs, or maybe they're just going by like atoms or elements and how often elements are found within Earth, and then trying to use the mass of those to calculate what the perceived possible mass.
I don't think there's any way they have it obviously
Earth.
down to like the gram, but
No, I know, but even a rounding measurement of being like it's somewhere around this still blows my fucking mind.
all our
That's an easy
measurements are
thing to
based
Google.
off of like the gravity of Earth, right?
I don't know.
I would imagine. Like, what other gravitational force would we be measuring things from? You know what I mean? Because things weigh different amounts according to their gravitational pull. Which is based off the mass of the planet or a moon or whatever they're on. So
that's right. The moon is like 1/6.
Like 1g is a ratio to Earth's gravity. So we basically just take the circumference of the Earth and punch it into a calculator with I'm not going to try and guess, but
dude, that's like some Rain Man shit.
I'm sure there's like some first year mathematicians or physicists that can pull that shit up real quick, but that's not me.
Yeah, like
I haven't yet graduated from my doctoral theoretical physicist.
I believe in you, and you'll get there.
I mean, I technically haven't yet started, but I'm just going to say from now on, I haven't yet graduated, but...
You haven't yet graduated? That's a really good way to say that, because you could be at any point in the process.
You could be like one class away, or you could just be thinking about enrolling.
Yeah, I haven't yet completed my doctoral program and blah, blah,
That's
blah.
a politician statement right there.
Dude, as long as you just throw that out, people will just assume that somewhere you're in the pipeline of being somewhat close to obtaining that.
Hey, man, the first step is you got to have a dream, right? So
100%.
I'm in the first step of a lot of dreams.
100%. I'm already halfway, almost considering being there. You're welcome, science.
I've probably got enough knowledge in my head to have passed one class in a lot of different, areas.
Oh my god, you can pass so many classes.
Yeah, so many classes.
Shit's
Fucking,
silly.
that's what Google's for, man.
That's right. Google is an extension of yourself. We are all cyborgs, and yet we don't even realize
So
it.
if you get caught plagiarizing, just, be like, hey, I'm a Taoist believer, and I think we're all just one consciousness. So really, I'm just reaching out to all my potential connections and using...
That's pretty good. That's actually really good. I would like to see a precedence for somebody actually using that as
I'm sure some fucking stoner has done that shit, and teacher doesn't even look at him. They're just like, nope, you're fucking out. Done.
Dude, that was Elon Musk. He was talking about how somebody sued him because they got injured in his car in a Tesla.
They fell asleep?
Where otherwise they would... Because he fell asleep, and otherwise... Had he not been in a Tesla, he would have been critically, seriously injured or had died. And yet he blamed the new car smell of the Tesla on the fact that he fell asleep and then crashed and was injured in a car collision and sued Tesla for their new car smell.
It's both brilliant and the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
For sure.
There was nothing else. That's how foolproof this car was. The only thing they could fucking fault was the new car smell.
The new car. What was the guy? He killed the gay guy that was running for mayor in San Francisco back in like the 60s or 70s or
Oh
something.
man, I don't know.
And he used the Twinkie defense.
Oh man, I didn't know what that was from.
Sean Penn.
I've heard of the
Sean
Twinkie
Penn made a movie.
defense,
It was
but...
called. What the fuck was it called? Sean Penn was in a great movie. He played the guy who ended up running for mayor. He was a gay man in San Francisco, and you know, even though it was San Francisco, he got a huge ton of hate, and somebody eventually murdered him, like in his office after he had been elected, and he legit used a quote unquote Twinkie defense of having eaten too many Twinkies and been on like some weird sugar high and not being able to think clearly or something like that. Yep, that was a real thing.
I remember him doing like the press for that
exonerated.
movie, but it wasn't like named after, like the movie was named after him or something like that.
Yes,
Like
yes,
Snow
it was a short. Oh
look it up right
God. Yeah, that was it. It was the guy's last name. Fuck.
Yeah, I remember seeing.
We're gonna have to wait. I have to know this now, people, and so do you. You should watch the movie. It was
Milk?
really good. Sean Penn was fucking amazing.
Hey,
Milk.
Yep,
Harvey Milk.
Harvey Milk. Yeah. Hey, I
Harvey
said
Milk.
Snow. Fucking Milk. Come on. Yeah, man.
You were there, man.
4 letters.
They're
white.
so-
They're both white.
White.
Yep.
Cold. Oh
I
my
was
God.
Practically.
If
there.
you melt snow, it turns into milk. If you add almond powder
Yeah.
or something.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, so
Okay.
Milk or
Anyways.
Snow.
Milk. Yeah, that was a fucking solid movie.
Might have to check that out.
Yeah, it was. Sean Penn being amazing.
Yeah.
That
Have
was
you ever
pretty
seen Dead
usual.
Man Walking?
Didn't he?
I'm mentioning
Oh,
it
yeah,
because I
fuck
see it
yeah.
out here. Such a good fucking movie.
Such a good movie. It was what? Susan Sarandon and fucking
Yeah,
Sean
yeah.
Penn, right?
And the soundtrack to
Yeah, that
that,
shit was.
dude.
Oh, I can't talk. I can't.
Soundtrack had Bruce Springsteen, Eddie Vedder,
Oh wow.
fucking what's his name? Tom Waits, all kinds of just hidden gems, man. Really, really good.
Yeah, that's gonna be a dark
It is.
soundtrack.
It's fucking super
Yeah,
dark.
it would have to be. It would have to be. All right, I think
All right,
that's
man.
it. That's all for today, man. We had some good stuff. We had some dark stuff, and it was.
Yeah, we're all over the place, but we'll get into like the multiverse and shit a little bit better. We'll do some research and gather our thoughts for another time.
All right, you heard it from Chris. Get ready for a multiverse episode, and I think that will be fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
We'll stay on
excited for
topic
it.
maybe for a whole episode.
We'll bring that shit to you soon.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. That's it for us today. Later,
Peace.
dudes. All right, that's it. That's episode 18. I hope you enjoyed the fuck out of it. We always have fun putting these together, and we've got a bunch more stuff coming out your way. We got a couple in the pipe already that are ready to be released. Just going to space them out a bit. And we got a ton of new episode ideas that are going to kind of be more focused. So you look for specific topics coming your way that should be right in the danger zone area of what we do. What the fuck just happened? I was doing so good up until that moment. God, sometimes it's just hit and miss. I don't know. All right, that's it though. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening. Please remember to like and subscribe and share this with people that may enjoy it or people that may hate the fuck out of you for sending this their way. That might actually be better than sending it to somebody that you know will enjoy it. There's a lot of fun in that. God, the troll is real. All right. Anyways, that is all. We'll see you in a couple of days. Until then, please be good to each other. I say that like every episode, but like I really mean it. Think about it for a second. Be good to each other. Give other people the benefit of the doubt if when you can. You don't know what's been going on in their day. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes of whatever little thing someone may have done to piss you off in traffic. We did talk about that today, so it's very relevant. Or just whatever in life. Maybe somebody getting angry at you and a smile back their way, hopefully as long as it's not sarcastic and they don't take it that way. But you know what? Put positive things out into the world, receive positive things back, hopefully. And so, like I always say, let's be fucking good to each other. All right, y'all. We'll see you next episode. Peace.